Oh, we're live. All right, we're good. I think. Hold on. Can anybody hear us? I think we haven't. Dude, he sent us the wrong link.
It was the wrong one. Is it the wrong one? Oh, it says 26 viewers.
There we go. Okay, we are live. All right, if you guys can hear us or anything, it's been a couple weeks since Ghost and I have done this, so let us know if there's a comment or anything through a comment if you can hear us okay. I thought we were having technical difficulties. Week 18 slate, a lot of strange, not as strange as I thought it would be, but let's go over some of the teams that will likely be sitting their starters. I think Miami has to play to win, but Skylar Thompson starting at quarterback there. Joe Flacco on the other side for the Jets. Cleveland and Pitt, I don't believe have anything to play for. Pitt can potentially make the playoffs. I'm not sure if any of you guys know these scenarios. Please,
Pittsburgh needs a couple things to happen.
Help, right?
Yeah, they need the Jets to win. They're going to play to win because they're in the early game, so they don't really have a choice. But they need some help in both the early games and the late games. So Pitt is going to run their starters, from what I'm hearing.
Great. Okay, so one of my favorite players is in that game for the lack of sexiness the slate offers. I think one of my favorite players is on the Pittsburgh side. And then Houston, Indy, you got Davis Mills and Sam Ehlinger is back for the Colts. Probably a game we just want to stay away from in general. Tom Brady will start for the Bucs, but it is rumored that they're not going to play for more than a quarter. They have nothing to play for. I think their seating is locked in. Ridder's going to go for Atlanta on the other side. They're probably just playing again to keep these young guys building some morale. We got Tyler Algier, I think 100 yards away from 1,000 yards. Probably my favorite running back play in the slate. Probably everybody's in terms of price. Andy Dalton and Sam Darnold at New Orleans, nothing different there. They're both eliminated, but should just be a nasty shit show of bad defense on both sides of the ball there. Mac Jones and Josh Allen, the Bills certainly are playing to win. Baltimore at Cincinnati. We haven't heard word on Lamar Jackson. I'm assuming he's not playing, so that's probably Huntley's job again at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's certainly going to be playing to win. Nate Peterman for the Bears. And then Kirk Cousins, Minnesota is playing to win that game. I don't know if the Bears will put up any fight at all. So I'm kind of personally taking the mindset that Minnesota is going to play strong for a half, get a big lead, and probably pull the brake or put on the brakes on the Bears there and let some of these subs play. So I have no interest in Dalvin Cook. Justin Jefferson is interesting because he is clearly the best wide receiver on this slate. Has a fantastic matchup against the Bears secondary or lack thereof, but probably too expensive for me to take the risk there. But we'll go position by position today, not game by game. Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith for LA, Seattle. Everything's good there. Davis Webb is getting the start for the Giants. Ghost, are you playing Davis Webb?
I am not.
Jalen Hurts is back, me. So that's good.
It's going to be a no for me.
So you will get a full effort from Philly. They're playing to win, I believe, playing for the bye and the number one overall seed in the NFC.
That's
Jalen
correct.
Hurts is back. Are you interested to play Jalen Hurts? It just seems like he's going to dust the cobwebs off, or do you think he just comes out here, doesn't lose a beat?
I don't think he loses a beat, but at the same time, I don't think they're going to hesitate to the Yankees guys in the second half. My theory with that game is because it's a very, I don't want to say it's an extremely affordable stack. You know, you have Devonta Smith at 7,500 on DraftKings and AJ Brown's 8K, and if Hurts is absolutely crushing the slate, then both of those guys are definitely reaping the benefits. But at the same time, it's like, well, if the Eagles are in a position to be able to pull their guys in the second half, it's because these guys already went bonkers, right? So it's like, I'm not completely opposed to it. Just be wary of the fact that, yes, the Eagles need the win to get the bye. San Fran and Minnesota, to me, are automatic wins. They're both ridiculous favorites, and San Fran's playing Arizona. Like, it's just both those teams should automatically win, and San Fran has the tiebreaker over Philly. So Philly does need this win, but at the same time, like, I can't see any of these guys playing the second half, or at least not the fourth quarter. That's for sure. That being said, if they're in a position to do that, it's because they're already up 45-0.
Right. Yeah. So they could get on it early. I'm not playing a quarterback who's a 17-point favorite or 16.5-point favorite right
That's
now.
the thing, man. Like would it really surprise you to just see like Boston Scott getting these 5-yard touchdowns and they're just keeping everyone healthy? You know, like, because not only do you need, like, yeah, Jalen Hurts is going to drive the field. Devonta Smith's going to catch the ball. AJ Brown's going to catch the ball. But it's like, it's not enough. Like, are you going to see Jalen Hurts really scrambling today for 20-yard scampers to run it into the zone? Like, I don't know about that. That's the one thing where it's like you're paying top dollar for a quarterback. You want playoff Jalen Hurts, and right now that's not the scenario. So I have a tough time getting there.
For sure. All right. And like you said, Arizona starting David Blau again. No DeAndre Hopkins. I think they're down a lot of guys. I don't think – is James Conner playing?
I don't even know if he's playing, man.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, there's no confirmation. There's no confirmation on that, but like it's just
we won't know till later.
Yeah, like there's no explicit really confirmation on guys like James Conner, but again, it's like, what are they playing for other than a better draft pick at this point?
For sure. All right, so when you guys get the inactives out there, because Ghost and I are disconnected from the world, please let us know, and we will go over the meaningful impacts of those games. Then we got the Chargers. Justin Herbert is going to start. Yeah, Connor not playing. There we go. That's what I thought I read this morning. So, it's like, dude, Arizona just packed it in. So, San Francisco, again, like, you could play Brock Purdy. We'll talk, again, position by position, but that game, I don't know, leaves a lot to be desired for me there. And then Justin Herbert is going to start. I doubt the Chargers play much of their starters. I don't think they have anything to play for. I think their seating is set in stone. They probably have the Jaguars, correct? I'm pumped for that game. Like, as much as I hate this slate, I'm so excited for next week with the playoffs and those slates. I like this condensed slates. Everybody's playing to win. I think that game, if there's any, I don't think the totals have came out for that game, but I absolutely love jumping on the Chargers and Jacksonville over. I have it opening right around 46, so let's see what happens, but I would jump on the over if that is at 46.
Well, the Chargers need to win to avoid playing the Bengals in the first round.
They do. Okay.
Yeah. So they have the tiebreaker over Baltimore. So if Baltimore wins, it's not a big deal, but the Chargers got to win this game or else they're traveling to go face Joe Burrow.
Oh, damn. Okay. I thought they were locked in.
That's a problem. That's a problem for them.
Okay. So we'll get a good effort there. That's a pretty good matchup. I like Russ on the other side. We'll talk about him. And then Dak Prescott going to Washington to see the Tar Heel great Sam Howell. I'm surprised Sam Howell never got any run at all this year. I know Heineke's kind of their guy when they turned on Carson Wentz, and you saw how bad Carson Wentz was last week. And Sia called that coming into the week, so Sia knows exactly. Yes, Chargers will sit players if Ravens lose. That's what it is. So if the Ravens lose, I think they get Jacksonville no matter what. So I'm with Sia there. So I would assume Baltimore loses. I think Cincinnati's going to come. I mean, Cincinnati is a 10-point favorite. Very unlikely we see Lamar Jackson. So I will not be playing any Chargers most likely unless the Ravens somehow pull off the victory. Then I don't know. But weird week. And then, so Sam Howell, I'm interested to hear Sia's thoughts on Sam Howell, but he is one of the quarterbacks I am playing. So we'll just go position by position. This is the optimizer on Win Daily. So we got some ownership projections, kind of like the whole thing I'm looking at today. I am not playing any MME. I'm not playing super high stakes single entry this week. I'm playing at 3 entry max, and I'm kind of leaving it at that. I'm waiting for next week where I know everybody's playing to win. It's just a week that with golf and everything, I didn't have a ton of time to really study into and see who's going to play and who I like a ton. So we'll start at the top in terms of ownership. Jalen Hurts projected to be the top owned quarterback on the slate. I find that hard to believe. I feel like Josh Allen will pass him in ownership. But at the top, let's say the 3 studs, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. Who are your guys?
I'm playing Burrow. I would rank them the opposite of what they are in ownership. So Burrow, Allen, and then Hurts for me.
Yeah, Burrow sub 10% against Baltimore is a fantastic matchup.
I think I like that a lot.
I think I would go with Josh Allen. I'm pretty sure the Pats are down 2 top cornerbacks this week, so it's not the Patriots defense like we're thinking of. This should be an absolute I don't know. I don't know what the Bills are going through emotionally. Obviously, Monday was horrific. It seems like everything's good. So shout out to all the the EMTs out there and everything that got DeMar Hamlin. Like, apparently he's going to be good. So it's amazing. Absolutely scary scene on Monday. We don't need to talk about that. I know every show in the world has talked about that all week. Let's try to get back to some normalcy with some fantasy football. But I'm sure the Bills come out absolutely on fire, ready to rock. So I think Josh Allen would be my favorite up top. Joe Burrow second. And Jalen Hurts, I'm just not going to play it all this week. I want to see it first. And again, they're a 17-point favorite. I don't think he just runs like crazy, especially coming off an injury where he got hurt running against the Bears. Moving down to this mid-tier ownership, the sub 10%, Geno. Do you have any interest in Geno? Seattle has to win. We didn't really mention that. So you will be getting their best effort against the Rams D, who's kind of been struggling of late. I know they played good last week, but any love for Geno?
I think he comes in way chalkier than the number that's on the screen there. So I'm gonna be out, especially with. I'd rather just play Kenneth Walker at that point. Like if you're like I just can't get behind a Seattle stack in a wild week 18, and you on top of that, it's crazy enough as it is. Then you got to duplicate the lineups because you got to play one Metcalf, one Lockett as usual, and I'm just like I'm not having that. So Gino was the guy that was on the outside looking in for me. But yeah, Randy just nailed it. That's my main lineup's going to be Burrow with Chase.
Love that. All right, so we'll actually flip it by salary because that makes a lot more sense. Justin Herbert, I think we're both going to pass on right now unless Ravens win.
Yeah.
Then maybe we'd have some interest. I don't want to pick on Denver secondary. Dak Prescott in a fantastic spot, 3% ownership. I think CeeDee Lamb is probably my second favorite wide receiver besides Jamar Chase. We'll get to wide receivers in a bit. You got any thoughts on Dak Prescott, or are you kind of not really into that? Because, I don't know. Is Washington going to put up a fight? Jonathan Williams is their RB1 today. I don't think they have McKissick. He's still on IR. They don't have Brian Robinson, and they obviously don't have Antonio Gibson. So, I don't know. I find it hard to believe Washington will put up a fight, but Washington usually plays Dallas pretty strong. So, I don't know. CF, what are your thoughts on Washington keeping it close today? But Dak Prescott, do anything for you?
I'm in. Yeah, I'm in because it's being a Cowboys fan. They do this every season, no matter what their seeding is. He's going to go out there and he's going to throw a ton. The guys that'll get less volume are going to be Tony Pollard and Zeke. Zeke obviously being having many miles on him, and Tony Pollard's pretty banged up, man. Like that, it was a worrisome injury heading into week 16, and it's just they need him for playoffs. So Dak's gonna go out there. He's gonna throw the ball a ton, and they need this offense rolling. I think they're gonna be feeding a guy like T.Y. Hilton. As crazy as it sounds, I find myself asking, what year is it when I'm saying that they're gonna be feeding T.Y. Hilton? But they're gonna be rolling a lot of 3 wide receiver sets, and they're gonna be interchanging a lot, CD in the slot, and in order to get CD in the slot, they need a guy like T.Y. Hilton to be out there right on the outside with Michael Gallup. So a Dallas passing attack is very intriguing, especially with nobody playing it. There's a ton of upside there. I find it hard to believe that Zeke and Pollard are going to get 40 touches combined. I find that very hard to believe.
All right, I'm with it. I like Dak a little bit. Moving down, Kirk Cousins, I'm a hard pass there. I do think that they will be playing to win, but I just don't see the Bears scoring any points with Nate Peterman. Tom Brady, likely to not play the whole game. I'm out there. Geno Smith, we talked about him. Brock Purdy, some value there at the 5,700 range. Obviously, San Fran is going to be playing to win. You have any love for Brock Purdy? This is DraftKings pricing, by the way, guys. So if it's FanDuel, just hit us a chat on here. I'd rather you guys ask more questions. Give us your thoughts, too. Make this more interactive because, again, I hate this slate. But Brock Purdy.
Yeah, he's probably my favorite punt quarterback, just in the sense that you look at what that offense looks like, and seems to be that Brock Purdy is their, 7th quarterback that they're playing this season. And it's just, look, he's got some really good playmakers around him, but it's no disrespect to Brock Purdy, but he's not exactly a guy that can afford to take a week off. They need him to keep the foot on the gas and keep things going. I think they look to get Eli Mitchell a couple touches. I don't think it's going to be out of control to the point where they're giving him the ball 20 times. Especially, how much Shanahan loves to run the football, and they need that for the playoffs. But I think it's going to be getting guys that they need for their playoff run some touches. And Brock Purdy needs to be throwing the football, and he's got to be using his legs a little bit there. So he's probably my favorite punt quarterback, just in the sense that I don't need him to do all that much at that price, on top of the fact that Arizona's defense is just Swiss cheese at this point. So he'll be able to move the football with ease, and that's exactly what we need from quarterbacks this week. We don't need crazy production from these punt quarterbacks that are all either subbing in or they're potentially resting, anything like that. You take a scenario where it's Brock Purdy versus a guy at the top of the pricing grid. Sure, a guy like Jalen Hurts has ridiculously more talent than Brock Purdy, but at the same time, he's $3,000 more expensive, right? So you don't need all that much from Brock Purdy, which is what I like.
Love it. Okay. Rodgers on FanDuel. Looks like that game is on the main slate. Absolutely. I think he's in a fantastic spot. I think we're probably going to get some help from the officials in that game, too. I think Green Bay is going to find their way into the playoffs no matter what. But I would love for as much as I like the Packers, I'm just not really an Aaron Rodgers guy anymore. It's kind of been annoying, but I love Christian Watson. I love Allen Lazard. That offense is awesome when they're all healthy, but I would love to see Dan Campbell put up a fight today. That should at least be a great game. So excited for that. Deshaun Watson, I'm going to pass this week. I know last week he was my main guy in GPP. He wasn't even that good, but he did have 3 touchdowns, so hit value for me, which was fantastic. But it was all with the touchdowns. He didn't really run much, didn't do a whole lot through the air. I think it was like 190 yards or something like that. But 3 touchdowns. He got up to, I think, the second most valuable quarterback outside of Tom Brady, breaking the slate. But I'm off Watson this week. Russell Wilson at 5,400 does intrigue me for the sub 5% ownership. I think it'll be a little bit higher. Derwin James is in, but again, if the Chargers sit their starters, if Baltimore loses, I think this is a fantastic spot for Russell Wilson, kind of make a statement at the end of the year. He looked a lot better last week, so everybody's healthy. Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy. I know you got Albert O at tight end now. So if Derwin James sits, if Baltimore wins or loses, then I think I like Russ a ton. Sam Darnold, I have no interest. Baker Mayfield, no interest. Sam Ellinger, no interest. Davis Mills, no interest. Mac Jones, certainly no interest. Kenny Pickett, no interest. I did talk about Sam Howell. I will be using Sam Howell in a 3-entry max. I mean, his projection's terrible. My projection for him on our other projections are not good. So I'm just playing him because he's a Carolina boy and he was a gunslinger in college. So we'll see what happens. But yeah,
he's got legs too. He's got legs on him.
He does, yeah. So Russ Sutton, Albert O is one of my favorite stats as well. I don't know if I'm going back to Sutton. I put so much on his player prop last week, and he got that 44-yard catch, and they called OPI, which is kind of bullshit. But it is what it is. It is a very cheap stack. So if the Chargers sit their guys, I think that's a really good spot because I think Denver will be playing strong. So let's move on to running backs. I really only like a couple. I mean, Christian McCaffrey at the top, fantastic spot, but I don't know how much of a fight Arizona is going to put up. You're not going to see Christian McCaffrey run to the ground on week 18 if they have a handle on this game. So I'm going to probably pass there. Elijah Mitchell is back as well. Austin Eckler, same situation. I don't think we get again. I'm assuming the Ravens lose. I'm taking the 10-point favorite, bold move there on Cincinnati winning that game. So I, as of now, have no interest in Eckler. Chubb's in a really good spot for 5% ownership. I think he could run on Pittsburgh, and I think that's what this is going to be a little bit of a battle. I know they're really, in the grand scheme of things, probably not playing for anything, but like you said, Pittsburgh does have a path in. I think Nick Chubb gets a full workload and is a really good spot, but at that price, 7,500, probably going to pass. Dalvin Cook, I have no interest again. I gave my piece on the Bears. No interest in Joe Mixon. You like any of these guys up top? Let's say 7K and above. Pollard and above here.
None of them. 0. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm with you. And then let's go 6K and above here. See if we can.
Kenneth Walker is the highest price that I'm playing today.
Kenneth Walker is? Okay, yeah. Obviously, Monty, I have no interest in anything Bears with Nate Peterman. Kamara, no. Ramondre Stevenson, any love there? Damian Harris is going to play, certainly, but you like him or Zeke? I mean, like you said, Tony Pollard's probably not going to get a full run today. They'll probably lean more on Zeke to get Pollard ready for the playoffs. Any love for Zeke at sub 5%, and they're playing to win. I mean, that dude, maybe if you're not playing him DFS, take a look at multi-touchdown prop or something like that.
That's what I did. I bet him to score. Yeah, I bet him. I didn't even bet him to score. I bet him to score twice because that's the only way that I'll be upset if I don't. I'm not playing Zeke, and the only way that I'm upset is if he scores twice and he gets these 2 touchdowns inside the 5, which is very Zeke. So that's what I did. I got it at a ridiculous number, and Zeke scored 2+ touchdowns. That's the way that I hedged it.
Nice. And then I kind of teased about it earlier. My favorite running back overall, I think today is going to be popular, 19% owned. I think it's going to be higher than that. Najee Harris at 6,100. He's got a 2.5 catch prop for about 13 receiving yards, rushing prop over 70 yards, and even money to score. This is a fantastic matchup against Cleveland's run D. You got any love for Najee Harris? I was a little turned off when I saw the catch prop only at 2.5. I figured this would be a lot more in the flat style against Cleveland, who blitzes a lot and has that good front seven. Obviously, they can't stop the run, but they put a ton of pressure on quarterback. So I figured this would be a much better spot for the dump-off game for Najee, but 2.5 catch prop, kind of a turnoff.
You know, it takes a lot for me to play Najee Harris. Everyone knows how much I strongly dislike Najee Harris, but I am playing him today. So it's
if you had to choose Najee or Zeke, I feel like now, like ownership-wise, we could talk a little game theory here. I mean, he's got to be the third highest owned running back, right? The fourth. Obviously, Tyler Algier, we'll talk about him, but oh man, that's a bit much ownership for me on Najee Harris as much as I did love him. Zeke or Harris?
I'm taking Harris.
Oh man, Zeke just has so much more touchdown equity too. I think
He does.
I think I may
That's the
pivot.
thing.
I may pivot up to Zeke. If Zeke's gonna be under 5%, I think I'm gonna go there. Raheem Mostert, I have no interest in anything in that situation with Skylar Thompson at quarterback. Miles Sanders, I don't know if I've ever got him right this year, so I'm gonna pass. It is a great spot for them being almost a 3-score favorite at home or on the road. No, they're at home. Okay, they are at home. But yeah, I just don't play Miles Sanders. I'm sick of seeing Boston Scott. I'm sick of seeing Kenny Gainwell. Jalen Hurts is back. I doubt they run him much in the red zone. We talked about that, but it's just I'm done with Miles Sanders for right now. He's great for fantasy season long, but to pick the week it happens in DFS, it is just a headache for me, and I have been unsuccessful. Cam Akers there, 6,200. You like Cam Akers? He's super popular too, 19%, but Cam Akers doesn't leave the field. You like Cam Akers at all? We'll check his plot.
Yeah, I don't mind it. His props are really high, so
75 yards rushing, 12.5 receiving, even money to score. That's a pretty good spot.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Everybody's
really
playing these value running
like that offense, man. Like, put yourself in Baker Mayfield's shoes, man. Wouldn't you just not want to hand the ball off? Like
he is handing the ball off, so it doesn't matter.
No, but like he just can't. He needs a job next year. Like he needs to go out there and show something.
Yeah,
he's got to go out there and show something.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a way to get different now that I see this ownership, and I think I will be leaning Zeke in GPPs. We'll do a summary at the end of the show. Tyler Algier, I just think is way too valuable overall. Again, Tampa Bay is going to sit a lot of their starters, and they've been gashed on the run this year. Vita Vea is just not the same guy. 25% ownership. I don't care at that point. He is certainly playing to get that 1,000 yards as a rookie, and he's doing it very quietly. I'm playing Tyler Algier everywhere. He will be in all 3 of my 3 max lineups. Take that for what it's worth. It is significant ownership tied to him. So moving down, Fournette, no interest. Wilson, no. You like anybody below Tyler Algier at 5,600? I mean, Zach Moss.
I'm purposefully leaving a spot in my flex that is going to be somebody in the 6K range, because if Baltimore loses, every single one of my lineups, I'm pivoting to Josh Kelly in that flex spot.
Okay. That's nice.
That's the way that I'm banking on it, because I feel like a lot of people are going to play guys from the early games, especially with 3 popular running backs in those early games. Their flex spot's going to be locked. So I'm purposefully leaving that spot with a late slate guy, because if Baltimore loses, I'm pivoting to Josh Kelly everywhere in flex, everywhere.
Okay. I like that a ton. Yeah, I have nothing wrong to say about that. Do you have any love for Zach Moss?
Zero.
And then let's see the price on – what about Chase Edmonds? I don't like to play running backs that don't get 15 touches. I think that's just like my new rule. 0.
I don't want to play a Denver running back, because I want to see Russ throw the ball 60 times. I don't want to play a Denver running back.
And then there he is, Jonathan Williams, 10% owned at 40.
It's going to be way higher than that. No,
yeah, that's going to go up.
It's going to be 25.
I think he's the free square. I hope that takes ownership off of Najee Harris. I would assume it doesn't, because people aren't going to skip Tyler Algier. Everybody's talking about him. It's a good spot. He's the 1,000-yard thing. So Jonathan Williams is probably as low as I would go. So we will skip through that. Let's go to wide receivers here. At the top, let's start by salary. Let's go 8K and above. So we got AJ Brown, CD, Jamar, Tyreek, Justin Jefferson. I'm going to say my favorite 2, probably the same favorite 2 as you, Jamar Chase and CD Lamb.
Yeah, I'd rank them. Go Tigers, CD, and then AJ Brown. That's what I'm doing.
There you go. Anthony Brown starting at quarterback for the Ravens. Gross. Another reason
Josh
I
Kelly.
hate this.
I'm playing Josh Kelly.
All right. I wonder if we see Sony Michel still on their roster. I hate this shit. Yeah, I even ask. But yeah, Corey Clements in the NFL, we found out yesterday in Discord. That was funny.
No, it might be like, oh my God, who would they even play?
Maybe
CJ. Larry Roundtree or something.
Yeah, Spiller So who knows? Yeah, I don't know. See, like that's what I'm with. See, I think Kelly is the spell to Austin Eckler. It's probably too. I'm speculating. That's what Week 18 is. Appreciate it. See, you're kind of co-hosting with us. We need the help. All right, so. Is that your favorite on the top, 8K and above? Obviously, AJ Brown's in a really good spot too. But again, I
it's
like
just like I can't
Davis
do
Webb
it. So
on the other side.
I can't do it. So I'm no better way to end the regular season than with a Go Tiger stack. So Jamar Chase, and I would actually put CD above AJ Brown / Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, I think
he's my number 2 guy right now.
Sub 10%, absolutely. Let's go to 7K range. Chris Godwin, no thanks. Jalen Waddle, no thanks. Mike Evans, no thanks. Devonta Smith, probably no thanks at 7,500.
Yeah, same boat as AJ Brown there.
Yeah, I mean, Stephon Diggs, pound for pound, the best play in the 7K range by all means. I think he has a monster workload. I also like Gabe Davis a lot as well. The Buffalo double stack, I think, breaks the slate today. That is probably my favorite stack in terms of paying up. Let's go to 6K, 7K below. So Keenan Allen, we're out. Brandon Ayuk, you like Brandon Ayuk at all?
No, 0. I can't do it.
No Brandon Ayuk, really.
I can't do it.
5% ownership on Ayuk. I think that's a really.
But they don't even need to. They barely need to throw. Like they can just move chains with like little dump offs and stuff. Like I need Ayuk on go routes all day for me to pay 7K for him.
For sure. All right, Lockett and Metcalf. You like the Geno double? Or you all? I know you're Kenneth Walker.
It's just really chalky. That's the only thing. Like it's really chalky. So I rather just play the run game there with Kenneth Walker. Like possession is going to be the name of the game in that one. So I think they're going to pound the rock a lot.
Cool. All right. I like Terry McLaurin. Again, I'm playing Sam Howell. I think I'm going to run it back with Zeke and CeeDee Lamb now that I saw Zeke's ownership is so low. Probably prefer Dotson, but so does the field. McLaurin's by far their best wide receiver. I prefer going on the outside of the Dallas Cowboys secondary instead of Deron Bland on the inside. So Terry McLaurin, someone I have a ton of love for in GPPs at sub 5% ownership. Mark Andrews is inactive now too. Holy Nikes.
So I'm probably going to pull back on Burrow and I'm just going to swap out Burrow and Chase for Josh Allen and Diggs. I'm going to find a way to do that.
Yeah, I think
I'm going to need a couple hundred. Jamar Chase is actually $500 more expensive than Stephon Diggs, so I'll get a little bigger room there. I think I'm missing like $400 in salary, nothing crazy. So
here's my guy this week right there, Gabe Davis, sub 5%. So Josh Allen doubles, baby. Run it back with Jacoby Myers or Jonnu Smith style, so you can play Hunter Henry. I'm not really a Hunter Henry guy, but
I'm playing Hunter Henry this week. I'm playing Hunter Henry.
Okay, that's fine. I like it.
You skipped one of my boys, Amari Cooper at 6K. I like a lot.
Amari Cooper at 6K. Yeah. Okay, against Pittsburgh. What about Chalk Garrett Wilson with Joe Flacco?
Zero. What year is it? What year, bro? What year is it?
I mean, it's Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's awesome.
Yeah, but it's Joe Flacco.
It is Joe Flacco. Yeah, I'm probably out there, but I do want to mention if you guys are playing cash, play Garrett Wilson. I have no interest in cash games this week, which is very rare.
Zero.
Just again, this too much speculation. Jacoby Myers is going to be popular there, right around 15%.
Drake London's going to be really popular too.
Drake London, yeah, give me Alshire instead.
Yeah,
I just don't like Desmond Ridder. He is not very good. Why does this keep shuffling back? All right, let's go lower. Jacoby Myers, and so 5K and below. So we talked about Jacoby Myers. You like anybody in this range? Obviously, Drake London is going to be the chalk here. Does anybody have upside in terms of GPP leverage? I know Cortland Sutton, Sia talked about 4,800 for Cortland Sutton is just way too cheap at 10% ownership. I don't know. It's just Sutton just doesn't do a whole lot for me. Jerry Jeudy seems to be Russ's guy, and then tight end spot too. But I don't know. I don't really like any of these guys. Jahan Dotson only is sub 5%. So again, if you trust Sam Howell, man, I'm
so cool with it. That was one guy that I'm taking a shot on is Dotson. And this one is way out of left field. Sia, I'm going to need you to confirm that he's actually playing in the early game. No Nico Collins, no Dorsett. They need like a little Brandon Cooks show-out game to trade him for like a second-round pick at the draft would be so Houston. At 4,800, bro beans. Like, as long as I get confirmation that this man is running routes and he's not going to be sitting down in street clothes, like I'm taking a shot in tournaments on Brandon Cooks. You got to get weird on a week 18. Nobody's going to play him. 4,800 Brandon Cooks, man. No Nico, no Dorsett. They like if he shows out and then someone good, like they're gonna see that they try and flip him for a second rounder at the draft or what, like that would be so Houston.
Yeah,
as long as we get confirmation on him actually playing, that's the one. But it's an early game, so you don't have to sweat that one out.
I think he's supposed to play. Yeah, I mean he's playing for his future too, so I think he's definitely going to play. Moving down, it looks like the only ownership is notable is Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah,
I think Dalton's kind of popular too. I'm going to pass on a 20% owned punt wide receiver. I know Rashid's been pretty damn good recently, but no, it's just not for me. I'm playing to get weird this week again. No cash games for me. Nothing like that is going to be GPPs. Greg Dortch, not playing Greg Dortch. I know he was like 40% owned in the game changer last week. That was hilarious. And some players that I respect, DFS players, played a lot of Greg Dortch. So that's funny. So I'm out on that. Anybody below these 3K punt ranges? Anybody you like there? But yeah, Dotson.
This one's gonna be it's a bit of a stretch. I think Diggs gets absolutely peppered with targets, but at the same time, Josh Allen's gonna get Isaiah McKenzie paid. He has I think he has $500,000 in incentives this week for quite a bit of work there. So very attainable, but a nice 500K for Isaiah McKenzie. It is coming his way if he gets some targets. So if you're looking for a flyer, we're sticking with that Bills offense that we like today. Isaiah McKenzie would be my guy.
Yeah. So for the Patriots, Jalen Mills is out. Jonathan Jones is one of their better corners. He is questionable, so it's likely that he's going to play. So they'll probably bring him in. Miles Bryant's back too. Marcus Jones was a full participant Friday, so their secondary is not as banged up as we thought. But I will trust Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills as my number one stack there. Tight end, pretty gross. George Kittle probably the overall best play, but you're concerned that San Fran doesn't really need him. He's certainly Purdy's guy in the red zone, so it's kind of revitalized Kittle in his fantasy value this week. TJ Hawkinson, we talked about Minnesota and how we don't really like the Bears spot at all for them. Mark Andrews is out, so nothing there. Isaiah Likely, got any love for Likely, or are we just not doing anything with the quarterback that's going for Baltimore? I'd be a hard pass.
I was actually about to slot in Isaiah Likely. I think in one
he's
out
good.
of three,
like he's
in one out of three maxes, I'm going to be playing him for sure.
Okay. Any love for Dallas Goedert? The Giants are
0.
I like to say like I'm a Frenchman, Goedert, but Dallas Goedert against the Giants are dead last in DVOA against a tight end.
No, I can't do it.
All right, Cole Kmet, I'm pass on anything Nate Peterman related. Dalton Schultz,
yes,
after the huge game at Jacksonville, yeah. I think is Dak your second favorite stack then?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, that is fair. Tyler Higbee against Seattle. They suck against the tight end. Like most receiving yards of tight ends.
They do. That's my little run back.
He seems to be Baker's boy. 10% ownership is not bad when Higbee's usually 20% owned on every single slate this year, it seems like.
And Pat Fry's drawing all that ownership too. So I don't think it's going to get much higher than that. I think Gus Edwards. They need him for playoffs, man. That's the only thing about Gus Bus. Like they need that man for playoffs because Dobbins, he goes down and they're cooked. They need a running back. So I think Gus Edwards is just as much in that boat that he's just as crucial that they need to sit him too, but keep an eye on it.
Okay, for sure. I like Tyler Higbee at that price. That's a good spot. Again, the Seattle matchup is I figured there'd be way more ownership on Tyler Higbee. Moving down, I really don't like anybody at all. Pat Freiermuth, like 17%, 16%. You guys can have that. I'm going to pass. Tyler Conklin, I think Hunter Henry is in a good spot without Johnny Smith. I would probably Trey McBride looked awesome. I'm excited for Trey McBride next year. If you guys are in dynasty leagues and he was not drafted, I'm sure he was, but if he wasn't, take a look at that. He moves so well. I know he had a big game last week, and sure, we could talk about the recency bias and everything, but man, he is a good player. Very mobile, big dude, good route runner. I'm excited to play a lot of Trey McBride next year. I think down here, I'm just going to go to Alberto. If he's going to be sub 5% owned against the Chargers and their lack of starters likely on defense, Alberto at 2,900. I'm just going to play that. 6 targets last week, 2 red zone targets. 1 was a touchdown from Russ. So that's probably my guy. You have any love for these punt tight ends? I don't think we need to go below 2,700. There's really no one. Isaiah Likely, you mentioned there.
Yeah.
Be super low owned, but
yeah, he's just really talented. Like it's more a compliment about Isaiah Likely's talent than the Ravens. I don't even want to say quarterback situation. It's their team situation right now with them sitting everybody. It's just more the fact that Isaiah Likely is extremely talented, right? So it's I'm kind of down to see him out there.
Okay, here we got Joe of all trades. Appreciate it, Joe. Let's see. Here we got the Isaiah McKenzie breakdown. 100,000 each at 30, 40, 50, 60 receptions, 50,000 for 250 yards. 40. So he's got 40 receptions and 404 receiving yards. So 100,000 if he gets 450. Yeah, dude. We triple stacking? We triple stacking Josh Allen?
I know it seems like I'm reaching on this one, but can you see? I can see it a nice little 4.
They're boys. They're definitely boys.
That's his guy, man. That's his guy. He ever since training camps, man. That's been his guy. I think he gets his boy paid. That's a nice payday coming his way if he get and at 3,500 a 4 for 50 line, it's really not that bad. You throw in a touchdown in there too. All of a sudden, you're looking at a ridiculous point output for a guy that's 3,500 and being unrostered.
Yeah, that's a pretty good spot. So let's see the matchups here. So Miles Bryant on the inside is rough too. So McKenzie in the slot. Would you let I'm going to let Gabe Davis go then. So I'm not going to triple stack. Let's go Diggs and McKenzie. Just doing a quick lineup with the Buffalo stack. Who you running it back with? Jacoby or your boy?
No, I played Hunter Henry in that one. I played Hunter Henry.
Oh, man. I feel like
it's so greasy though. Like, how can you? Like, I put in those 4 guys, and I was like, how am I expecting a pass to keep it close by playing Hunter Henry? But I'm just looking at the touchdown upside, and I definitely don't want to play one of their running backs. And it's like their wide receiver situation is such a disaster. I'm like, you know what, tight end's a landmine. I'm gonna play Hunter Henry.
What about Logan Thomas at tight end? You like Logan Thomas at all? I'm trying to find that back and forth with CeeDee Lamb's a core play for me, so I'm trying to find.
He is, yes.
Dallas is good against the tight end, but I don't know. Logan Thomas. Maybe I like Logan Thomas. But yeah, Isaiah McKenzie, great find there, Joe. We greatly appreciate that. So I'm a big fan of that. Yeah, Carlton Davis out, Mike Edwards out, Julio out. Well, Julio doesn't necessarily matter a ton. Carl Nassib. Vita Vea's out too, yeah. So wheels up on Tyler Algier. He's going to be 50% owned, but I'm going to play it. Yeah, and then Dotson or McLaurin for me on the bring back. I kind of like Logan Thomas now that I look at it. There we go. Rookie QBs. Do you like that? I'm going to play Logan Thomas and then put CeeDee Lamb in this lineup. Let's see what this looks like. 1 second here, folks. All right, so I got Josh Allen, Diggs, McKenzie, Jacoby Myers, Logan Thomas, CeeDee Lamb. You could fit plenty if you play Algier, which everybody's going to do. Let's see if I could fit the Vikings defense or something. Pretty much just giving away a whole lineup, but whatever. It's tough to get an RB2 there. That is tough. I'm not playing Zach Moss.
What are you missing?
RB. I want to get Najee Harris, and I can't afford it without playing what defense? The Giants.
What's the lineup?
The Pats or the Cardinals. The Josh Allen double stack
with McKenzie over Gabe.
Yeah. But I'm running it back with Jacoby Myers. So Hunter Henry makes this make a lot more sense, but I'd rather. Yeah, goddamn, this is gross. All right, let's recap here and get on with our life and get ready for next week. That next week we will have a significant breakdown on the website. I'll be going all over the coverages, every single player. When it's a smaller slate, I could really get a ton of information to you guys. So I'm excited for that. And for those that are new and those that have been with us, we seem to absolutely crush the playoff slate. So I'm excited. So quarterback, top play. Let's just go GPP because I think both of us are out on cash this week. Who is your guy?
Allen number 1, and Dak number 2. Joe Burrow was my guy, but the Ravens just packed it in. So Allen number 1, Dak number 2.
I'm going to go Allen number 1. And number 2 for me is going to be Russell Wilson, an honorable mention. I just want to let you guys know I wouldn't advise it, but I am playing Sam Howell. So if we get a green screen with Sam Howell in the Discord,
UNC guy.
That's right. Go Heels. All right, running back. Give us your top guy. So top pay up. All right, top pay up for me.
I'm not paying up. I refuse. I'm not paying up.
Oh, man,
the only guy that I would consider there is Nick Chubb. I'm not paying
I'll
up,
go 6K and above. Najee Harris, Zeke Elliott. I think I'm going to be out on Kenneth Walker and Nick Chubb. And then value, obviously, for me is going to be Tyler Algier. Honorable mention, Jonathan Williams. I don't think I'm going to play Jonathan Williams, but Tyler Algier, I'm just locking everywhere.
Yeah, Algier, and can't believe I'm playing Najee for the first time. He playing that man, but it is what it is. And Kenneth Walker is my guy this week.
Love it. Wide receiver, top guy for me. I still love Jamar Chase. Like, he is going to be super efficient early. It's just how much are they up in that game? So I will go CeeDee Lamb and Stephon Diggs up top.
Yeah, same for me.
All right, mid-tier. I do like Brandon Ayuk a ton at that ownership. I think he gets in the box twice. This is such a good matchup. I've been picking on Arizona secondary all year long. I can't stop now. If Ayuk goes nuts today, like I have to get a part of that. And then I like Terry McLaurin a ton in GPPs. I like Gabe Davis, but now that we talked about it, I actually love Gabe Davis. I'll certainly have him, but Jahan Dotson and our boy Isaiah McKenzie. I really do not like much of the wide receiver pool at all. And Jacoby Myers.
At the
I'm
top,
out on Garrett Wilson, Chuck.
No, I'm completely out. We said Diggs and Chase at the top. In the mid-range, I like Coop. Of guys that you didn't mention, I like Amari Cooper. And everyone else you already covered. That's it.
All right. Tight end. I'm going to go with Albert O, Logan Thomas, Hunter Henry, and Tyler Higbee. Those 4. I'm not paying up at tight end.
I'm playing Dalton Schultz, Higbee, and Hunter Henry. Isaiah likely is going to be able to crack one of my 3 lineups. So one of those guys is going to get the boot. To be determined. But those are my 4 guys.
All right. Let's see if we got any questions. So here's Jay. If you play Algier, and likely you can get anybody you want.
It's mega chalk, though. It's going to be
mega chalk. Is what it is. You think likely his ownership goes up?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
All right. Well, that's all I have. Week 18. Good luck to everybody. Hit us up in Discord. I'll be pretty active this morning. See ya. Thanks for all the notes, too. It seems like you studied this slate a lot more than we did. So we appreciate that. But, yeah, playoffs. I'm excited. I'm already working on that. So looking at some potential matchups. But if we get the Chargers, Jacksonville, get ready for an absolute shootout because those teams match up extremely well against each other for a shootout. So I'm excited for that. But good luck to everybody. But yeah, Ghost, hell of a year. Excited to get to playoffs. But yeah, week 18 is just, it is what it is. So get weird. Don't play all the chalk out there. I know we talked about Algier and Najee Harris a lot. That's probably the 2 chalkiest players I'll be playing, and I'll be getting different elsewhere. And let's see Sam Howell throw for 240 and 3 touchdowns. Why not? And run for 30 yards.
Fun fact about our playoff successes, that's where the founders of the Gabe Davis hype train started. It was when I called out a 3K Gabe Davis punt play on
years ago, 2 years ago, right?
On a playoff slate. It was 2 years ago, and the man caught a 60-yard bomb on one of the very first plays of the game. He was 3K. Stone cold minimum. Nobody knew who that guy was, and then now he was the
fifth round pick in season long. He was
arguably the biggest hype train of the wide receiver position for season long football this year. So definitely excited for playoffs, and thank you guys for riding out 18 weeks with us and all the support. And we'll be back next week for one of my favorite slates of the week.
All right, go get them. Good luck.